Helldivers, Arrowhead updated Helldivers 2. We all know about the Control Center terminal. I read through this and it's pretty cool. It's added into the game now, so we get more context on major orders and galactic campaigns, which are made up of major orders, and what the context behind all of it is, and why we're doing it, and what the reward is, and what's the history of it, blah 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 blah. Balancing, that's what we're interested in, the balancing. So, general balance changes. The vehicle armor and enemies' armor penetration rebalance. Enemies are basically weaker except for heavy enemies. So, Bile Titans, Impalers, Chargers, they still damage you a lot, regardless of what vehicle you're in. But here's a summary. The Bastion tank should feel tankier and ignore small attacks, withstand some medium attacks, and its survivability against heavy attacks should be unchanged. The exosuits have a similar change as the Bastion tank in terms of ignoring more small attacks and withstanding medium attacks better. The increase in health should overall make it feel a bit more tanky, even against heavy attacks. The FRV has received an increase in health that will make it handle medium attacks similar to before, but be able to withstand heavy attacks better, granting better survivability. The ballistic shield should feel like a ballistic shield, basically. Sentry health rebalance. They've increased the health of all sentries by 100% to compensate for the general damage increase in weapons versus in enemies versus vehicles. So, your sentries have more health, so they're more usable on the battlefield than they were before, whether you just drop it and after 20 seconds it dies. So maybe 40 seconds it'll die. Reloading's been improved, so when you're diving, you'll still reload. If you reload and then you dive, you'll still reload while you dive. And you'll remember the state that you reload if it gets interrupted or if you're ragdolled. So if you get ragdolled while you're reloading, when you get back up, you'll reload from the point where you got ragdolled. So if I'm halfway through reloading and I get ragdolled, instead of going back to fully reloading, I'm reloading from halfway. Introduce the concept of delayed reloads. If you trigger a reload while the player is not allowed to, the reload will be delayed until the player is able to reload, with a maximum of 1.2 seconds delay from when the reload input was pressed. Bastion pattern customization. If you own the vehicle patterns from the premium warbond, they should now be applied to the Bastion tank. It does not apply to legendary warbonds retroactively at this time. Decreased exosuit cooldown. Reduce the cooldown of mechs from 10 minutes to 8. This is great. More exosuits to use, more quicker when you, well, not more exosuits to use, being able to use exosuits more often. So if you get swarms of enemies every 4 minutes, you only have to deal with one swarm without an exosuit. Throwables amounts. You get more throwables, and you get more throwables, and you get more refill, and you get just better throwables. Orbitals. Intent is to make larger orbitals feel more like the large projectiles from orbit they are, so the projectile and explosion damage should better match that. Larger projectile explosions like the 380 and 120mm are increased to make close hits more effective versus larger enemies like charges. Compared to explosions like the ultimatum, these will have way less damage at the center, but also less damage fall off, so it will have a more consistent damage over its total area. The rail cannon also got more damage to be more effective versus more larger enemies like the Vox engines. It will still not shoot the largest enemies like Factory Striders, Hive Lord, and similar. Throwables. Primary weapons. M7S SMG. Move the scope offset closer to the scope so it will be easier to use in aim down sights mode. Throwables. G4 8 Giga Grenade. Increase refill from 1 to 2. TED 63 Dynamite. Increase max amount from 3 to 4. G50 Seeker. Increase start amount from 3 to 4. Increase refill from 2 to 3. Increase max amount from 4 to 5. G12 High Explosive. Increase start amount from 3 to 4. Increase refill from 2 to 3. Increase max amount from 4 to 5. G16 Impact. Increase start amount from 3 to 4. Increase refill from 2 to 3. Increase maximum from 4 to 5. G7 Pineapple. Increase start amount from 3 to 4. Increased refill from 2 to 3. Increase max amount from 4 to 5. G23 Stun. Increase start amount from 3 to 4. Increase refill from 2 to 3. Increase max amount from 4 to 5. G109 Urchin. Increase start amount from 2 to 4. Increase refill from 2 to 3. Increase max amount from 4 to 5. That's okay. And the Incendiary and Incendiary Impact got there. Start increase from 3 to 4. Refill increase from 2 to 3. And max amount from 4 to 5. Stratagems. Eagle 110mm rocket pods. Intent. Make it better at shooting smaller heavies like chargers, hulks, harvesters without shields. It can also kill some larger enemies like tanks as well. It is still not 100% guaranteed kill, but it will be more reliable. Increase explosion damage from 200 to 300. Increase explosion durable damage from 200 to 300. Increase explosion armor penetration medium to heavy. Rockets are fired in a closer pattern to each other to make it easier to hit smaller targets. Lower force impulse or explosion from 40 to 10. The system make enemies not fly away as much when they die because we increase the armor penetration of the explosion. So if a charger dies, if they left the forced impulse, then the charger would have been flung away. But they increased it so then the charger just dies. Orbital Precision Strike. Increased projectile damage from 3,500 to 4,000. Increased projectile okay. The Orbital Precision Strike, Orbital 380, Orbital Walking Barrage, and Sieve Artillery Explosive all got their damage increased by 500. Projectile durable damage increased by 500. Explosion damage increased by 500, and explosion durable damage increased by 500. Orbital 120 HE Barrage. Increased projectile damage from 2,500 to 3,500. Same for projectile damage. They listed projectile damage twice, but I think they meant projectile durable damage. So, oh well. Increased explosion damage from 750 to 1,200, and increased explosion durable damage from 750 to 1,200. Orbital Rail Cannon Strike. Increased projectile damage from 7,500 to 10,000, and the same for projectile durable damage. Spear Gun. The projectile was negated by the gas resistance to armor, which did not make much sense. The explosion of the projectile is still gas elemental. Change the projectile type from gas to none. So if it explodes, it's not exploded by gas or something. I don't quite understand that. The Sterilizer. Increase the ammo capacity by 25. Increase the starting ammo from 2 to 3. Will be less affected by wind by 60%, which is good. All exosuits have their armor increased by 200. Same for the health of the arms. Health of the legs is increased by 150. And the cooldown is reduced from 10 minutes to 8 minutes. Fast Recon Vehicle has its health increased by 400. The health of doors by 50. And the increased health from tires from 300 to 350. Enemies. The Terminators, the Charger. They've adjusted the Charger's turning arc to make them easier to avoid. We'll see that in game. Increase their recovery time after the charge to create a window of opportunity by about 1 second. The Charger basically keeps running and struggles to stop if it misses its target. To compensate for this, charge speed has been slightly increased 8 to 9 meters a second. Alpha Commander. Remove the cowardly behavior. It will now be more aggressive. So rather than running away like a little bitch every single time, it will instead actually fight. Hunters. Reduce durable damage from normal attack from 50 to 40. Reduce the durable damage of the tongue attack from 45 to 30. Reduce the durable damage from pounce attack from 50 to 35. The warriors also got debuffed with their durable damage, so did the stalkers with their tongue attack, and the automatons. The Vox engine has its health decreased from 11,000 down to 9,000. So now the Vox engine can be killed by the rail cannon strike, which to me makes sense. Reduce the maximum turn angle of its upper body so it cannot turn as far as it could previously, from 180 degrees down to 140 degrees. The amount of Vox engine allowed to be active at the same time is limited to 3. Thank you, that's actually possible, rather than 8. Reduce health of their cannon turrets down from 8,000 to 3,500. Reduce the armor of their cannon turrets from 5 to 4. Reduce durable damage on cannon turrets from 1 to 0.7. Increase damage of cannon turrets explosion to significantly hurt the Vox engine when it dies. Illuminate, Elevated Overseer. Added 1 attack pattern, short attack burst followed by a longer one. Reduce the current attack duration. Reduced accuracy on moving targets. Awesome. Fixes. Special shout out. Stimming is no longer interrupted by stagger. Thank God. I've been waiting so long for stimming to not be affected by getting stagger because it is so annoying when I am in a horde of automatons and one trooper gets a hit on me or is able to stagger me with something. Doesn't actually hurt me. It just stops me from stimming, which is fine if I was on full health, but the problem is I'm on low health, and that's the reason why I'm stimming, and then I get stunned, and I get obliterated by a factory strider. It's just so annoying, but now they've fixed it. Awesome. Fixed a rare crash that would happen when a player joined a game. That's pretty bad. Fixed a rare crash which could occur when causing an excessive amount of explosions in a single frame. That's also good. I literally reported that to Arrowhead, which was nice. Weapons and stratagem fixes. Fixed a bug where several weapon customizations weren't properly saved when the option was ticked in the player settings. The Cremator no longer shows as a heavy armor penetrating stratagem trait, following similar incendiary weaponry. The Flame Sentry and Exo-51 Exosuit Flamethrower can now damage targets within 3 meters of the Sentry. Yay! Well, it should be 3 meters of the barrel, because saying the Sentry just kind of, like, whatever. They fixed the Lumberer, which is nice. The missile pistol weapon now shows the right trait tags in the menu. The R2 amendment reload now continues correctly if interrupted. If reload is interrupted early, it will not lose magazines, which is also good. The secondary weapons chosen customization correctly persists after death if the menu option is selected. Orbital Gatling Barrage will play the correct audio. The STA-X3 Wasp launcher can target illegal broadcast transmitter towers. Part of the Bastion tank's barrel can be damaged with a light penetration weapon. Oh, so they fixed that. Phalanx divers rejoice. Laser beams, explosion damage, electrical arcs, and melee attacks no longer collide with the directional shields of your teammates when hit from behind. SG-97 sweeper should now reliably eject shells when slam firing. The Wasp launcher can target illegal broadcast. They already said that. They said that twice. Oh well. Fix physics. Thanks, just fixing physics to allow more representative shooting on the Dragon Roach abdomen. Veracidor will no longer trigger its charge within a narrow path, reducing instances where they'll clip through destructible obstacles. Thank you, because they were doing that before, and it got really, really close to crashing my game. So close, but it just pulled through. A hidden broadcast terminal was relocated to its correct spot so that the Helldivers can once again access it. I ran into this actually when on a Super Earth mission, on a city mission, I destroyed illegal broadcasts, but it didn't count, so I thought, I'll go to the terminal at the bottom of it and disable it there. But I couldn't because it was disappeared. So I think that's what they mean when they fixed it. Players are no longer removed from the terminals when switching between controller and keyboard and mouse. Right. D-pad arrow keys navigation can come up and down when viewing teammates' equipment loadout. Traversing through foliage such as bushes will no longer interrupt sprinting, which should result in less momentum loss. I don't like that. Call me a hater, call me wrong, but I think that it's better to have that in because then it encourages players to dive through it, you know? And it makes sense because if you're going through foliage like a bush, you try running through a bush in real life, it's difficult, okay? And I don't mean like a shrub. I mean a bush, right? I can't run through a hedge for my life. I can't run through a bush for my life. I can't even run through even a shrub, right? I'm going to slow down a bit when I go through a shrub. I think this should be reverted. It's a very minor thing, but I think it should be reverted. Fix several issues with some mission assets animation being out of sync for joining players. Fix issues where the map marker for retrieve mutant lava objective is always displayed in a radius. Hints have better placements for the reinforce. That's what me and my friend Zach were looking for like 20 minutes to find the mutant lava, and we just never found it because it was always in a radius, and it never narrowed down to whatever. Hints have better placements for the reinforcement Hellpods commando missions. Steve SAM site missiles now have better software to detect and detonate near enemy air units. Fixed a bug where certain automaton mines turned invisible when a nearby mine exploded. Fixed a case where the Helldiver head twitched when leaving the Hellpod. Oh, that's just the side effect of stims, bro. M102 fast recon vehicle no longer plays audio for doors if they've been removed from the vehicle. Parts of the TD-20 Bastion Mark 16 barrel can no longer be damaged with a light penetration weapon. Fixed issues with certain physics collisions having no audio. Fixed automaton mines going under the ground after a nearby mine explodes. Fixed an issue where an eradicate automaton forces could generate underwater. Fixed a traversal issue where enemies could not reach the player in one levels in the E710 extraction mission. Fixed a traversal, same thing but for Annex Untapped Mineral Site. This is a lot of changes, and I am excited to see how this new galactic campaigns shapes up and about what this means for the progression of everything in Helldivers 2. I think all the balancing that Arrowhead has done is good. You know, I never really shame it. Well, I've shamed the bush momentum thing, but I never really shame everything that Arrowhead... I never really shame anything that Arrowhead changes because, you know, I'm getting a free update. I'm getting free changes for the betterment of me and my enjoyment. But I feel like the Sentry Health rebalance was a bit overdue. I like every change that Arrowhead does. Some I didn't like. What did I not like? I did not like Cyberstan. I can tell you that much. I did not like going on a Cyberstan and getting swarmed by the Vox engines. You can see my video on that. I hated it at the time. But then they fixed it, and then we got over Cyberstan, we lost Cyberstan, cool, we get to go back to Cyberstan eventually. But I like these grenade changes, because honestly, grenades have been slept on in the loadout. They really have been. It's always been about the secondaries and primaries, but the grenades are just as important. And I like that the orbitals are getting upgraded too, because they did feel a bit spongy compared to how I feel like they should feel, you know? And the vehicles as well, combating the durable damage attack that everyone went at Arrowhead for. You know, I don't think it was that bad, honestly. I don't really use vehicles, so I might just be out of my league here, but I didn't think it was all that bad, really. I didn't really notice the difference that much. And the spear gun, I like how they changed the projectile to fix it. And the sterilizer for the 2 people that use the sterilizer. I hope you enjoy your extra 25 ammo. And I love that the Alpha Commander is actually going to fight, so I can take my revenge on them rather than just running away after calling in their warriors and then just wee. You know, I hate that. I hated that. And the Vox engines. Vox engine can be one hit by rail cannons. That just makes sense. It's a rail cannon. It is designed to go completely through something and destroy it, you know? But what do you guys think? Is this update too much? Is Arrowhead just covering their ass? I mean, it's kind of what Arrowhead does all the time because the players get so uptight about everything so easily. Do you think that some of the stuff could have been left alone? Do you think some of the stuff's going to ruin your meta? I think it's going to make the game feel more like a PvE game than a war simulator game. But then again, I don't really think it's a war simulator game. I feel like it's a PvE game more than anything. But that's just me. What do you guys think? Tell me in the comments below or join my Discord and talk about it. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, subscribe. Check out some of my other videos on my channel. Trust me, you'll want to check out some of my other ones. Hint, hint. Not even joking. Seriously. And yeah, I'll see you all in the next video.